rise to support the motion of amendment moved by Honorable Member from Dadengri to the motion of thanks tabled by Honorable Members of this August House. Mr. the Chairman, sir, at the very outset, I would like to make my submission to stress the fact that in this August House, the whole exercise to really put into scrutiny all the policies and programs of the government and all the proposed expenditures which are proposed through various budgetary proposals are required to be put to scrutiny, and a scrutiny to that extent that it creates an enabling environment to create deterrence for any omission or commission at the time of actual implementation of the programs. To ensure fiscal discipline, fiscal transparency is crucial for the state's stable budgetary exercise in the years to come. And this is precisely what the government of Meghalaya has been able to do in the preceding decades. If we look at by the debt is to GSTP ratio, the fiscal deficit of the years in the preceding decades, I think I'm making it abundantly clear that this has been the tradition of the government of Meghalaya. And precisely because of these, that Meghalaya has been able to level itself at a higher level in the credit rating to have access to number of programs which is funded by various financial institutions, particularly the programs which are supported under EAPs. Therefore, it is very important that every amount of programs which is governed by this policy reflected in the governor's address are discussed and debated to an extent which is considered appropriate. I would also like to just share this, whatever was discussed in the Business Advisory Committee. Since we had to do away with one day's private members' business, it was in principle agreed that since we have quite a number of spaces available for the honorable members of this August House to articulate their issues in governor's address and budget discussion, I think we can do away with the private members' business so that we don't have to extend another day in as far as the calendar of this session in respect of this budget session 2026 is concerned. So therefore, through you, Mr. Chairman, sir, I think it is only appropriate that we look at the space in order to enable the members to accommodate the time which may be necessary for them to flag issues concerning the state and concerning their respective constituencies vis-a-vis the policy matters adopted. Now here, I would like to first draw the attention of the government in regard to the usual commitment of the state to ensure transparency and accountability, the most important part in democracy. Because we all here represent the people, and we are privileged to really take the whole responsibility of affairs of governance. Affairs of governance by the ruling side, and to take our responsibilities and perform effectively as opposition to really look at the effectivity or lack of it in terms of governance, efficiency or lack of it in terms of governance, deficiency or otherwise of the governance, and the perceived felt deficiencies and the gaps which require to be addressed by the government of the day. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, sir, here when we talk about the effective mechanisms to ensure this transparency and accountability, there are a number of initiatives that the states have embarked upon, including Government of India, with various laws. And therefore, to create that enabling environment, the focus has to be there, and to also indicate that these are all reflected in the governor's address itself. But they are missing. to effectively strengthen various institutions that has been put in place to ensure the kind of enabling environment for creating, ensuring transparency and effective implementation of various programs. We have the social auditing system, which need to be further strengthened. We have the report today tabled by the Honorable Chief Minister pertaining to this. And we have the Lok Ayukta, and we have a number of other laws which regulate our manner of implementation of programs. Now here, if we look at the submissions made by our honorable members from the three benches, I understand that they have reasons to definitely give accolades to the government for various initiatives. But at the same time, as far as the ground reality is concerned, it is also necessary to flag before the government areas of deficiency and perceived omission and commission at the time of implementation of the program. Now, there are a number of deficiencies which ultimately have its cumulative effect in the whole affairs of governance. I would like to just, lest I forget, refer to my own experience and the experiences of all the people of, in the western part of the state, recently when ABDK Soba was hosted, the traffic. Though the venue was just on the sides of the National Highway 51, we had a serious problem. I tried to find out, because there was some tendency to pass on the honors of responsibility to the steering committee and the organizers, but the fact is that government has always, in such huge gathering, taken the responsibility, whether it is government of India or state government, it's a responsibility of the government and the state. Now we try to understand why was it? It is because of the huge vacancy in the police department. No other reason. The police could not provide more than 200 men to host such a crucial event where the footfalls were completely unexpected. Therefore, this whole vacancy which is being left and the whole process of recruitment, if we go by Meghalaya Police Act 2010, the law says that result will be declared on a daily basis. I repeat, the result will be declared on a daily basis. What prevents this government from adhering to the mandate of the law? Therefore, unnecessary delay, depriving the young men and women who have applied for the job. How many years it has passed from the time of advertisement for recruitment till now? And we still say in the process of filling up. That's unacceptable. It's a deprivation of our youth from getting the job who are waiting so patiently and eagerly to be part of this whole organization, which is so crucial in the whole governance. Now, if we go by other things, I have put number of unanswered questions to look at, number of FIRs lodged in respective police stations across the state. And the reply, if we go by how many cases so registered in terms of investigation and complete investigations have been completed, the replies are reflective of deficiency in the police. I tried to find out also. I talked to the concerned authorities, the officers. The reply is that, sir, we have huge vacancies, both in armed branches and unarmed branches. Now, for whose interest these vacancies are being left? Mr. Chairman, sir, I will describe this whole modus operandi as an malified, predetermined intent of the government to withhold the quantum of fund which otherwise would have gone in paying the salaries if appointments were met and opportunities given to all those job seekers. This is completely against the provision of the Meghalaya Police Act 2010 and also against the interests of our commitment to provide the opportunities to our youth. And we must remember that police is the only organization which provides the kind of job for all those youth who are school dropouts, who are college dropouts. The rest, we don't have the space. Therefore, I would like to urge upon the government to take a corrective recourse. Be honest in what we say. Walk the talk. Mr. Chairman, sir, these are crucial issues. And at the same time, what does it say? In para 7, during the last year, the second line, during the last year, the overall law and order situation in the state has remained peaceful. I beg to differ. It is right in front of our eyes what's happening. What has happened in West Garo Hills and what is still happening. The whole kinds of, I must say, a kind of situation where various other forces are getting involved in creating that kind of tension between communities. It is a fact. We cannot run away from the truth. These challenges may confront us anytime, whether it is a problem along the interstate border in Assam and Meghalaya. The police doesn't have enough manpower. That is the reply. We talk to them, we ring them up, that is the reply that comes. All across. And we have to remember that we have such a long international, which is referred to as porous international border with Bangladesh, which at the present is not in a very friendly kind of relationship with the country. And the whole challenge of other geopolitical related whatever problems we as frontier states face. This whole Northeast is considered as the most vulnerable area. That is the reason why Government of India has separate law, restricted area permit for visitors coming from other foreign countries. Today, therefore, the need to ensure that every vacancy is filled up with utmost sense of necessity, understanding the importance of this organization. Why did we establish the SF-10, the Special Force 10? Was it not necessary? It was necessary, and precisely because of what we did, therefore we could restore the peace. That's why today in the western part there is no militancy, no terrorists. But today, it is a fact that quite a number of youth have been seen, unidentified people moving around with arms in Garo Hills, in West Khasi Hills, in Southwest Khasi Hills. These are facts. We must nip it in the bud. Prevention is better than cure. A deterrence. We seem to have lost priorities. So where is the issue of not having this challenge in respect of the law and order situation in the state? We have a serious problem of law and order situation, be it in the traffic management. Traffic management. We are hiring and firing those volunteers who have been trained by the civil defense and home guards. Why don't we fill up these posts through a regular recruitment? Don't we want to give jobs for our youth who are waiting so eagerly? And even this recruitment process for temporary posts, they recruit, then they lay off, and again they recruit. Children sometimes are confused. Who will explain to them? Therefore, this should be taken cognizance of by the government of the day. It is a fact. Then at the same time, the areas of concern are many though, but then these are not reflected. We talk about the huge investment which reflect the GSDP, 59,625 crore for the financial year at current price. Mr. Chairman, sir, when will this benefit percolate down to the people so that people will have money in their hand? The common man, the poor, the have-nots, all across the state. If you want to know whether people have that money out of this, it is reflected when we talk to the shopkeepers. The sale proceeds on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Compare it with the preceding decade and now. Many shops are closing down. Many contractors are actually giving up being a contractor. Because out of this investment money, what is happening is that there's a flight of capital. Flight of capital, why? Because this huge quantum of works are being awarded to so-called corporate houses, the companies coming from outside. What did we do in the preceding years, preceding decades? We wanted to ensure that we promote entrepreneurship. Mr. Chairman, sir, we have discussed in the BAC that enough space should be given for us to articulate issues. So maybe you can let your mind know.
No, because I'd given a ruling that debate on governor's address is up to 1. So maybe there'll be the budget presentation. Members can participate there then also. So now, since you're LO, I've given you 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes more, and then
10 minutes? Yeah, I'll wind up. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. Anyway, a little bit of momentum dislocation. Usually I speak it from my heart, so the issue of money, the issue of money going down to the people. That is how the GSDP, irrespective of its figure, can actually make an impact in the lives of people. If people don't have money to pay their admission fees for the children, if the people don't have enough money to pay for their medical bill, if people have to run from pillar to post for getting the kind of support for accessing to medical care, this is happening on a daily basis. The moment we go outside the house, all the members of this August House will be informed of various problems being faced by the people. The whole lack of proper monitoring on the issue of healthcare and saving lives in the health sector. Yes, we have invested, so much of investment, but have the access to healthcare improved? No. Is the affordability of healthcare being ensured? No. What is happening? Is the blood available for the patients when they are confronted with the need to have a blood transfusion on an urgency basis? Is the trauma centers working to save lives who are victims of road accidents? Is the measures being taken up to prevent and reduce the incidence of road accidents? Mr. Chairman, sir, I tried to bring this issue through start question, but it didn't come naturally. But then what is the intent of those questions are? To draw the attention of the government. Look at the sanction time, the date of sanction of this program. Till now, full amount which has been sanctioned by Government of India for these trauma centers have not been yet utilized. No burn unit, nothing. I talked to the Civil Hospital Joint Director to find out whether the burn unit is working or not, because recently one young girl who is a student of a university had a burn injury. The burn unit is not yet established. The money is there, the component is there. This is the state of situation, rather, pathetic state of your management. Why is it not being done? Every day, almost on a daily basis, road accident, the golden hour we call it, the first hour. When an accident takes place in Nongpo, then the victim is being brought to Shillong. Don't we have the trauma center in Nongpo? Yes, we have, but it's not fully equipped. For whose interest it is being left like that? The money is there. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, it sounds very beautiful. The honorable member from Auhati said, those who criticize us about road are who cannot see the truth. I differ. Mr. Chairman, sir, I will refer to this very important aspect which I have raised earlier also, the quality of the work. The huge inflated costs being factored in the estimate, the money which should otherwise be enough for making 3 roads consumed by 1 road. What is this? For whose interest? Therefore, I would like to read one of the observations of the Empowered Committee who scrutinizes various projects pertaining to PMGSY in quality issues. Para 22 of the Empowered Committee meeting held on 27 March 2023. What does it say? The relevant para, I will say, there are 90 action taken report, 26 ATRs for completed works and 64 ATRs for ongoing works pending at the state level. The state was asked to show substantial compliance for this pending 8 years. It takes so much of time. Then subsequently, the Import Committee says, during the Import Committee meeting, it was observed that the NQM, the quality monitoring unsatisfactory grading for completed and ongoing works has increased in the current year from March 2022 to February 2023. Unsatisfactory grading of completed ongoing works have increased. What does it say? Quality compromise. So therefore, there are many things. How to look at these concerns? Put in place all those effective measures to ensure effective and transparent way of actual spending from these scarce resources which is accrued to public exchequer. This money belongs to the people. We are only custodians. It is our job to see that we are good managers and we are not found to be really lying to the honors which are the public. If we lie to the public just because we have the repository of our vested upon the people who run the government, it is just contrary to the spirit of our democracy. That threatens the sustainability and vibrancy of our democracy. With these few words, Mr. Chairman, sir, I thank you once again for extending a little bit of time. And next time we will have, I think, longer session because this duration of session, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it will leave behind enough space to go for all these implementing programs unnoticed, undiscussed, and without any scrutiny, which is not in the interest of the people. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir.